Today we're adding a little science to our baking, and we're going to be baking cupcakes according to a scientific formula that is expected to work perfectly. Now, the first thing you're going to do is measure out your flour. You're going to zero out your utensil, add your flour. Mine came to 5.5 ounces. I'm then going to measure my sugar, which must be equal to my flour or less than my flour. I'm then going to put 2 eggs into a cup. I'm going to add enough cream or milk to it to make it 5.5 ounces as well. Then my fat or butter must be equal to my eggs. So before I pour my cream or milk over my eggs, just take a note of the weight of your eggs so that you can make your fat equal to that. Mine was 4.5. Once I've measured out my butter, I add it to my sugar. I've used caster sugar because it's the easiest to cream. I then cream my sugar and my butter together using an electric whisk. That is the best way to do it. In the olden days, they used to beat their sugar and butter for an hour or more to add air into it. It's a process, as I say, called creaming, and it is the most important part of making your cupcakes. If you don't beat that butter and sugar together until it is lightly colored, fluffy, your cupcakes will never work. I've used self-raising flour, to which I have added a pinch of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Add your milk, cream and eggs to your butter and sugar mixture and beat until combined. You're then going to make a well in the center of your flour and add your liquid to your flour and stir until just combined. This is very important. If you over stir or beat the flour, it turns to gluten, which is the worst thing you can do. You will lose all the air in your cupcakes. To my butter, sugar, milk and egg mix, I added 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice for flavor. Then I mixed my flour, butter, milk and egg mixture together lightly, as I said, and now I'm about to put it into a muffin pan. I have preheated my oven to 180 degrees Celsius. To bake my cupcakes, you can obviously use little cupcake papers and bake it in an ordinary muffin pan. Spoon your mixture into your muffin pan, about a tablespoon of mixture for mini muffins and 2 tablespoons if you're going to be using a cupcake paper or a large muffin pan. I have said use a tablespoon of mixture for a mini muffin pan and 2 tablespoons in a large muffin pan. But this is not a hard and fast rule. Every muffin pan is different. And your cup of your muffin pan must not be more than 2/3 full. Otherwise you're really going to ruin your cupcake. Making cupcakes the scientific way means that you're always going to have a perfect result. You can obviously alter this recipe to make it a chocolate recipe or a grenadilla recipe or a vanilla recipe, anything of your fancy, as long as you keep those measurements standard and you use a scale when you're baking your cupcakes. Cream 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons of butter into a cup of icing snow or icing sugar. It's called frosting in some areas of the world, and beat it until it's smooth, and then you can use it to frost your cakes.